Just want to do a video from down here on what we call the meadow, sugar bush. This is a little releaser station. That's where, I haven't tallied it up, but I think it's going to be over 500 taps. Roughly 500 taps come into this station. We haven't finished the shed yet, so excuse the mess. And then there's 2 1.25 green lines, as you see, that go up. One goes about, it necks down to, it splits off 300 feet up and goes to 3/4 inch, and that goes 500 feet to the left. And then the main 1 inch continues up a ways further, necks down to 3/4 again, and goes up behind what's Zoe and Chris's barn up there behind the dairy. And then that blue one you see over there, that turns to green up there and actually goes up and across, goes underneath Long Hill Road through a culvert, comes up, goes up across the property up there. There's a couple hundred taps that go into it, and then there's another vacuum line that starts, and I think it's around 1,300 feet. It's an 1.25 inch vacuum line, and the vacuum pump's up there at the sugar house. And 1,300 feet goes underneath Route 107, down across, meets up with the line I just mentioned, crosses under Long Hill Road, comes down here, goes across, turns to black over here, and that black line on top carries vacuum into the releaser shed. This releaser shed set down in a septic tank bottom. We dug it down in so we could get the height to get the releaser in here, and it helps with freezing. It doesn't tend to freeze and stays a little more temperate in here, and in really cold nights isn't quite so bad with freezing. This is what we got coming in right now. Some of it's not all that clean because it was stuff that was in the line. Even though we washed the lines, you still get some. If you look in there real careful, like, find a good spot, you can see it's still running. It's about 32, 33 degrees. Wind's been blowing. Temperature's dropping like a rock, so it's going to come to a screeching halt here shortly. You see all the slush coming in from the lines. But we've got it tapped, and I've got it tallied up, but I think we're going to have around 600 taps in there, but it may be closer to 5. We'll see. Depends on how ambitious I get. That's the vacuum line coming in. That black line turns to blue, goes over here, and this is you can see the line up the top there. The vacuum comes in there, comes into this canister. This is a moisture trap. So if for some reason, which has happened, this thing freezes up, which it does happen, that moisture trap, if it starts to pull sap up into there, goes over there, there's a float valve, there's a little ball, probably about 3 inches, 4 inches, and it sucks up and blocks off the vacuum from coming in and keeps the sap from going up the vacuum line. We spent almost a day and a half chasing water out of our vacuum line this year. We had a problem, and I hadn't had a chance to put that moisture trap in. I have one before the vacuum pump, but I don't want to have one down here, so it sucked sap almost 1,300 feet up there. But if you listen careful, you can hear that's hissing. That shouldn't be hissing. We've got we got some leaks somewhere. So I hiked last night and found 2 major leaks. Now that we've got this all tapped, I've got to hike it again and just look for leaks and see what we got going on. But it's not doing bad for having leaks, being almost 24 inches of vacuum. The vacuum pump up to the house is I think it's running at 26 inches right now up there, so we're not doing bad. But you can see the nest of lines we have up through there. We run all 5/16ths. We're taking out all of our 3/16ths. I've had a lot of issues with the 3/16ths. I'm not happy with it. So we've opted to go back to all 5/16, and all the main line we're putting in now is going to be, oh, now it's going to look at me. I don't want to do that. I wanted to zoom back out. Everything we do from now on, the 1-inch main line, and it will be 5/16. It's a little more work to set up, but we get a better vacuum throughout the sugar bush, less problems trying to clean it, less problems with animals chewing it. Seems to last longer. I just think it's, for us, that's what works better. I know a lot of people like to use the 3/16, and that's great. If they can make it work, use the natural vacuum that it creates going downhill, that's awesome. But it just doesn't work for us, so that's the way it is. This whole area, my father took the time to thin all these trees out. Those are all small sugar maples that we've got to go in and thin out some more before we can tap anymore. And over here I counted, I think it's 17 more taps. I'm going to run a 3/4 main line or a 1-inch main line right up that, along the edge of that gully there, and right up to the road. Another 17 there. I've got another 15 or 20 across the road over onto a neighbor's piece. And then, excuse me, up across the road there behind the mill in what we call the wheat field. I've got another 25, maybe 35 taps to add in if I run a main line. And so we can still add quite a few, but it's just a matter of getting everything run. So anyway, just wanted to show you the sap end of things, at least from down here. I'll do another video of the vacuum pump and the 3-phase system setup and the other releaser at the sugar house another day, and show you how that all works. So any questions, just post them and I'll try to answer and see if I can share what we've learned. May not be right, but at least it's another idea for you to look at. So thanks for watching.